You ready? Hi. Hi guys, welcome to today's class. We are going to get started today in child's pose. So come about halfway on your mat and then take your knees nice and wide. Bring your big toes together and then bring your bum to the inside of your heels. Good. And then slowly lower yourself down onto the mat. Just giving your hips a little bit of a sway on the way down to release your hips. Letting your forehead rest comfortably on the mat. Give your fingers a little strum to make sure that your arms are relaxed. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Sigh out through your mouth. So each deep breath in, feel your lungs and your back of your body expanding. Feel your belly expanding. And then every exhale through your mouth. See if you can just let yourself soften into the mat a little further. So no forcing your body. We're just moving through the breath. One more deep breath in through your nose. And then sigh it out. Good. And slowly start to come up. Keep your toes all tucked under, so you're on the tops of your feet. Bring your knees together and then come to sit on your heels. Good. So we're just going to lean back a little bit. This might already feel stretchy enough for your feet, so go as far as feels comfortable for you. And then as you lean back, maybe your knees start to lift off. Sweetie, can you leave those because I need those notes? Thank you so much. So as you lean back, try and be a little lighter on your heels. So continue to lift your chest up and lengthen your spine. Only go as far as you can feel a gentle stretch. So it shouldn't feel like you're in pain. There should be no pinching or twinging or tingling. We're just going nice and gently. Yeah. Just slowly starting to find some space in our body and some length in our muscles. Good. And then slowly start to come back down. Alright, coming forward onto our hands and knees. Tuck your toes under, just to give them a little bit of a stretch, and then press your heels backwards as you bring your chest forwards. Good, and then straighten out the right leg behind so that you're still on the ball of your foot. We're just going to sort of rock forwards and backwards, so up onto your tippy toes, and then pressing your heel further back. Thank you for the support. And then come further forward. You can roll over your toes and then pressing back with your heel. One more like that forward. So keep strength in your upper body as well. So pressing through all 10 fingers onto the mat, shoulders down and back. Thank you. And then swapping over. Keep your breath flowing nice and evenly. And just go super slow, because we want to take this time to feel into our bodies. See where we need more attention. See what needs our focus today, where we might need to go a little deeper, where there feels like there's some extra space. And so we're aware of where we might need to be a little bit more gentler. And nice. And then coming onto hands and knees, toe tucked. Press your bum and hips all the way back towards your heels. And on an exhale breath, start to lift your bum and hips all the way up until we're in our downward dog pose. Then giving our feet a little bit of a pedal. So bending one knee nice and deeply into your chest. Keep your chest pressing back towards your thighs. And then just swapping over. So it's just nice and gently. Like we can do this sort of, with a lot of momentum and a lot of wiggling. We're not really tuning into our body that way. So go super slow. Feel everything. Feel the sensation that it feels to lengthen through the back of your leg muscles without force. And if you find a spot that feels super tight, just pause there a moment, take a deep breath in, and take a really slow breath out through the mouth. That just signals to your body just to soften in, to release, to let go, so that gradually, pose by pose and breath by breath, we can create a little bit more space in our body and start to lengthen out our tight muscles find movement in our stiff joints. Oh, thanks, Bobby. Right, then coming all the way to the top of your mat. So lift your heels super high, press your chest back, and then 1 foot at a time, walk really slowly. Keep your heels as lifted as comfortable, all the way to the top of your mat. Oops, sorry about your toast, Bobby. Good, and then we'll just pause here in a forward fold. Bending your knees so your chest stays nice and close towards your thighs. This will be much more supportive for your lower back. And just let your body have a little dangle, a little sway. You can gently move from side to side. Excuse me, Marla. Thank you. And you can bend one knee deeply and straighten the opposite leg. So any little movements that feel releasing for you, because we all do different things with our body on different days. Continue to check in with your body in this moment. Maybe it feels nice to go a little bit side to side. Maybe it doesn't today. Just feel into what you need. And have your feet a little bit further than hip distance apart. And we come all the way up to standing. We're going to come up with our tippy toes. So bend your knees nice and deeply so we come up with a nice straight spine. And then inhale, sweep up, gaze is forward, and then just start to lift your heels high. So the higher you go, it seems to be the more balance we find. Good. And then exhale. Oops, watch out if you have a tiny baby underneath you. Hands into the center of your chest. Good. Inhale, lift your hands high, lift your heels high. And then exhale, hinge from your hips and forward fold. Come all the way down. Good. Lift up halfway. And then exhale to fold. Take a nice big step back with the right leg and drop your right knee down for our runner's lunge. Then wiggle your left toes a little bit more forward. Start to straighten the left leg and press the left foot into the mat. Keep your hips nice and even and keep them pressing back as you lift your chest up, but tuck your chin in. So where we can find more space and less tension. And then lean into the pose, but lengthen into the pose. So we're not collapsing down, we're continuing to bring our chest forward and press our hips backwards. So if your tailbone curls under, you'll probably lose the sensation of the stretch on the back of your leg. So keep your tailbone pressing back and chest pressing forward. Yeah. And then with your hands at a nice stable distance either side of you, we're going to start to straighten through the back leg. And the same thing with the spine, so keep your chest pressing forward, tailbone pressing backwards, chin slightly tucked, and your back heel is pressing down but not straining, so we're not forcing it down, it's just headed in that general direction. Yeah. Plant your hands, step back with the left foot into downward facing dog. On your inhale, lift your right leg all the way up behind you. On the exhale, bend your right knee. Oh, thank you. Yes, gently push your chest back further towards your face. Thank you, Marla. And then open your right hip up towards the side, but drop your right shoulder down. Bring your heel nice and close towards your bum and point your toes. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, take a nice big step forward with the right foot, with the left foot, and exhale into forward fold. Inhale, we're coming all the way up again onto our tippy toes as we reach high and lift high. And then exhale, we'll come straight back down into our forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway so we can find some length first. And then exhale, big step back with the left foot, drop the left knee down. And maybe you need to bring the right toes a little bit further forward and then we'll straighten through the front leg. So pointing your toes so that we press the sole of the foot more into the mat. And this will give a nice stretch through the whole front or the whole top of your foot. And then shoulders down and back, chest forward, hips press back. Different side of the body, so you might find there's a deeper bend in this knee. You might find there's less of a bend. Just ease into where you feel just the beginning of sensation so that we can start to send our breath to areas that are tight. And we can be patient with our body as we start to create space. So keeping the spine the same, creating space and length, and we can start to straighten the back leg. Heels both pressing down, bum back, chest forward. And you'll find the more that you aim to create space in your body, the more sensation that you'll start to feel more evenly around your body. So that we're using our whole body to benefit each pose, not just sort of collapsing into one pose and letting one part of the body do the work. Plant your palms and take a step back into downward facing dog. Then on the inhale, lift the left leg all the way up. And then bend your left knee, open your hips towards the ceiling, but keep your hips pressing towards the ground and back. And then drop your left shoulder just a little bit. Bring the left heel nice and close towards your bum. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale a nice big excuse me. Coming forward. Big step forward with the left leg, big step forward with the right leg, and then forward fold at the top. Thank you. Bend your knees. Good, inhale, come all the way up to standing. Lift your arms, lift your heels. And exhale, hands into the center of your chest. All right, so standing toe stretch here. We're just going to bring the right toes behind us a little bit and come onto the top of our foot. So bend your left knee a little bit so that we've got activation and energy going through the left leg. And then lean a little bit back, and that will just help to release through the top of our foot. Hands can be on your hips, hands can be in prayer position, wherever feels more comfortable for you. And you want to continue to lengthen your spine, open your chest, and then just gently leaning back. Good. From here, we'll bring the right knee into your chest. So steady gaze forward, and then flex your toes, so we're stretching the bottom of our feet now. You can use your peace fingers to grab hold of your big toe, or hold on to any part of your foot or leg. Nice. Hips are nice and stable, with the right leg nice and active as well, so toes flexing backwards. Start to extend forward. Good. Hips are nice and even. Breath is flowing smoothly. Legs are both active. And then if it feels right, you can open out to the side. Hips both stay facing forward though, so try not to swivel through the hips. It's just the leg that's moving. And then inhale back to center and down to the other side. So the left foot, he goes backwards, just a little bit behind, hands on hips, and then start to lean slowly backwards. Different side of the body, so maybe you'll find you lean back a little further. Maybe you find you lean forward a little further. Then where can you find space? So you want to lift up and out of your hips. Crown of the head reaches high. Chest is open, shoulders reach back. Right leg is bent, so energy is coming up through the right leg. Good. And then left leg into your chest. Peace fingers to big toe. Different sides, so find your balance first. And then slowly start to expand forward. If you're holding your breath, because you are aiming to hold balance, breathe. Breath is more important than the pose. If you fall out, you can always come back. And then just open up and stretch to a position that feels good for you. You can stay here, you can open out to the side as much as you have room, or you can stay with your knee bent and open out to the side. Feel what your body needs and then go with that. And then release down. Okay, so for this one you'll need a block or a box or a book or something just to give you a little bit of height, and then we're going to just step our tippy toes onto the block. Yeah? Good. Alright, and then we're just going to do a few little heel dips on this one. So hands can be either on your hips, out in front of your chest, and we're just going to drop one heel to the ground, and then the other heel to the ground. So the foot with the heel that's dropping, see if you can find more length in that leg. Yes. And the one that's bent, see if you can lift the knee even higher. So it's just little subtle movements. Yep, that's your block, sweetie. Good. That help to find a little bit more space in areas that are tight and stiff. And one more each side. Keep your breath flowing to help with balance. And then the other side. And back to center. Good job. Okay. Shall we move these blocks? Thank you. Okay. So now we're going to take your legs nice and wide. Toes facing in just a little bit, as wide as feels comfortable for you on your mat or either side of your mat. And then press into the outer edges of your feet rather than collapsing into the inner arches. Good. Lean your body weight a little bit forward, but press your bum backwards and up. And then your kneecaps, lift them up. So that will then activate your quad muscles. Take a deep breath in, lengthen. And then exhale, let your head come towards the ground. Hands can stay for support. You can place your elbows on the ground. Maybe you reach your hands more forward. That feels nice for the shoulders. Maybe you reach your hands back for balance. Maybe you reach towards either foot. It's whatever feels right and most beneficial for your body. Just let your head hang in between so there's no tension or tightness. And then continue to lift your bum and hips up. Yes, perfect. Continue to reach your head gently down. So we're always creating length in the spine. Nice. Good, and then from here we're going to bend into the left leg nice and deeply. And bend into the right leg nice and deeply. And just gently from side to side, finding a little bit more space as we go, and then we'll start to lift the feet. So as you bend into one knee, start to lift the ball of the foot on the opposite foot. And so this will get nice into the inner part of our legs. Look towards your toes as you start to come a little bit deeper. Be mindful in your movements and go nice and steadily, nice and gently. Seeing how it feels in your body, never forcing or fighting with your body. Just nice, gentle movements. And then one more to the other side. Good. Coming back up into our wide-legged forward fold. Walk your feet in a little closer. Toes out, heels in. Sit your bum down into our little Indo squat. Use your elbows just to encourage your knees open a little bit. Lift your chest, deep breath in. And then exhale, sit all the way down into the butterfly pose. Give your knees a little bit of a release, a little bit of a flap. One ear to one shoulder. Roll your chin all the way over to the other side. And then back to center. Good, so coming onto your back, just make sure there's enough room behind you to roll down. And we'll bring our knees into our chest. Give yourself a little hug in. As we let our spine settle onto the ground beneath us. So feel your shoulders sinking into the mat. Feel your tailbone nice and heavy so that our whole spine is supported and rested on the mat. Straight your left leg all the way up, and then with your right knee, keeping that in towards your chest, it's going to hold on to the back of our right leg to keep it in nice and close. Flex or point your toes, either one that feels right for you. Hi, you found the sunscreen lid, thank you. And then you're going to take your right leg up. So rather than straightening it all the way towards the ceiling and having the knee come away from your chest, bring your knee into your chest, and your foot is more so going behind your head. So it's like you're going to be doing the splits rather than legs straight up to the ceiling. So pointing or flexing, whichever feels best for you, and then you can stay holding on to the back of your thigh. You can reach up for your toes if that doesn't encourage you to straighten the leg fully towards the ceiling. We more want it going behind our head. So that'll get a nice stretch all the way down the back of our leg. Using your hands just for support and weight, I'm just going to breathe into this pose. The deeper, more fluid and more flowing our breath is, the more energy and oxygen goes towards our muscles, so the more space that we can create in them. So rather than force, just breathe. Breathe and be patient. Good. Draw your knees back in and we'll go to the other side. So straight the right leg out, left knee into your chest, and then start to straighten as we bring the leg behind rather than directly up towards the ceiling. You might do something different with these toes. Maybe it feels better to point these rather than flex. Maybe it feels better to stay holding on to the back of your thigh. Just adjust the pose so that it suits your body. Breathe into the sensations that you feel. And then return. Knees into the center of the chest. We'll come into the reclined butterfly. So bring the soles of the feet together. In close or further apart, or further away from you, sorry, wherever feels better for you. Hands on your hips so that you can feel your hips nice and even, and then just tilt your tailbone up slightly. That will keep our lower back a bit more protected. Soles of the feet pressed together and inner thighs engaged. So because there's nothing supporting our knees, we want to keep the muscles active just slightly so that we don't put any pressure on our joints. And then as your body softens in, we can use a little less activation as we find a little bit more space. Oh, thank you very much. Thanks. Good. Slowly bring your knees back together. And then legs all the way up towards the ceiling for the waterfall. Just let your legs dangle here for a moment. You can have little movements with your ankle if that feels nice. Oh, that's nice. Thanks, Mama. Thanks, honey. Really slow your breath down here. See if you can expand your lungs more with every inhale. And see if you can soften more with every exhale. Oh, thanks, honey. And when you're ready, slowly lengthen yourself out into your Shavasana. Oh, be careful. Feel your body completely rested. Gentle, please. Rested and relaxed on the ground. Let your breath return to its natural rhythm and pace. Let your jaw become relaxed. And slowly soften your muscles. Your body doesn't have to do anything here. The mat's supporting you. The earth is supporting you. Just simply be. You can observe your breath, maybe filtering through your body. And becoming aware of it moving more fluidly through places that were tight and stuck. And as your breath is able to circulate through your body more, feeling a sense of lightness, openness. And when you're ready to come out of your Shavasana, just give your toes and your fingers a little bit of a wiggle, just to reawaken your body. Point your feet, reach your hands all the way out in front of you, take a deep breath in. And exhale, what happened? Knees into your chest. Keep your eyes closed as you roll over onto any side that feels more comfortable. Gently press yourself up, what happened? Into a seated position. And if you can keep your eyes closed, keep your eyes closed. And just stay with that awareness and observation that you have on your body before the outside world distracts us. What happened? Bring your chin into your chest as you sit up nice and tall. Take a deep full breath in. Sigh it out through the mouth. Bring your hands into the center of your chest. What happened? Okay. Hands into the center of your chest. And again, take another deep breath in. Find where you can create space. Deep breath out. I release all things from the past year that has caused any negative attachment. I prepare and welcome new lessons and adventures. I welcome new opportunities to grow emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Bring your thumbs to your third eye and namaste. Namaste, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Namaste, baby Marla. Are you okay? Yeah? See you next time. Thanks. Bye.